I'm Andy Farke. I'm the Curator of Paleontology at the Raymond Alf Museum of Paleontology. So our new Hadrosaur skeleton was found back in 2009 at the very end of our field season in southern Utah. For the last 10 years or so, the Alf Museum has been taking Webb students out to southern Utah to Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument in an effort to search for evidence of fossils from about 75 million years ago. So one of the things we do is we do something called prospecting, basically looking for new fossils. And so as part of that procedure, we're walking around the Badlands out there. And I was walking out with Kevin Terrace and Cameron Lutz, two Webb alums, and Kevin spotted a little piece of bone sticking out of a rock. I looked at it, and to me at that moment it didn't look like much, just maybe like a piece of rib or something, so I kind of dismissed it. Then I walked around to the other side of this little rock formation that the bone was on, and I picked up this little boulder that was sitting there and turned it over, and there was a dinosaur skull staring back at me. So I knew we were onto something big. This was really a 3-year process. We had the discovery of the specimen in 2009, but it wasn't until the next year that we were able to get the full permits and the full crew together to safely excavate the specimen. Then it was brought back here to Southern California. It took another full 2 years to get it completely cleaned from the rock. It's a really tough thing to have to leave a specimen behind. It's kind of like leaving an unwrapped Christmas present under the Christmas tree. You know there's something good in there, but you just can't get to it quite yet. So it's a lot of a lot of thought. And you're like, is it going to be as good as we remember it, or is it going to be something disappointing? And in this case, it far surpassed our expectations. When we first found the specimen, we knew right away it was going to be a big rock. It's miles away from the nearest road, and it's over some really rough country, so you can't just carry it out. If this thing was maybe 1,000 pounds, there was no way we could carry it by hand. So from the start, we knew that we would have to get a helicopter. And so we worked with a company based out of Salt Lake City, Utah, coordinated the time, the location, and were able to put everything together to make that happen. When the specimen came out of the ground, it was really delicate, and it was not, it needed a trained eye and a trained hand to do that. So we turned it over to Mike Stokes, a preparator with decades of experience. He went in with specialized glues, specialized tools, everything that was needed to safely remove the rock from the fossil, and it took 2 years for that process to happen. We're not anywhere close to done with it yet. Even though the specimen is cleaned, that's just the start of the work. Now we're able to fully study it, compare it with other specimens from other parts of the world. So there's a lot of science, probably months of study that remains, so we can learn all we can from these bones, and then we'll be able to announce it to the scientific community. So one of the really special things about the Alf Museum is that we have students from the Webb Schools involved, and for professional paleontologists that's often a bit of a surprise, and it's really fun to go to a conference, have our students present there, and some of them ask, oh, is this a master's student, or where are they doing their college at, and be able to tell them that they're just high school students. That's pretty cool. There's 3 Webb students working on this specimen as part of their senior research project. They're studying how this animal compares to other specimens that have found, maybe how the skull is similar, how it's different, comparing it with adult individuals of this same species so we can figure out how it might have grown. And so they've been looking at all aspects of that.